In today's video, we're going to go into a little bit more detail on optimizing your landing page specifically to get as many conversions as possible into your account and boost your conversion rate overall and just improve the overall profitability of your campaigns. Now, out of all the videos on the channel so far, it does seem to be the landing page ones that people prefer the most, and rightly so as well, because if you have an optimized landing page that converts well, then that one change alone can, double or even triple your conversion rates in some cases. So we're just going to go into the landing page optimization a little bit more in just some more detail inside this video. And as you're aware, the reason why this is so important is that if you're running campaigns in a competitive industry, in a competitive location, then the chances are the clicks you're paying for are not cheap. So we really just want to try and maximize the amount of conversions that we're getting from those clicks as possible. And the first thing we're going to go into to optimizing your landing page is this section right here, which is what you see as soon as somebody lands on the landing page. So this is known as the hero section. And you want to make sure that this part of the landing page is as optimized as possible. And it's the most important part of your landing page. Because a lot of users, when they land on the page, they make up their mind here when they land on this part. And a lot of people don't even scroll below this section either. So you want to just make sure that this section is as good as it can be. And the most important parts then of the hero section are your headlines and having a no-brainer offer as well. So if you have a headline that outlines the benefit of why they would choose you, for example, saying something like affordable and reliable, but more importantly the service that you offer in location, then that headline is going to be highly relevant to the ad that they clicked on and the keywords that they're targeting. And we mentioned this in more detail in another video as well. But having separate landing pages with separate headlines in each case for every ad group is going to be highly beneficial because rather than, for example, let's just say for plumbing, rather than having one general plumbing landing page, if you had separate ad groups for emergency plumbing, toilet repair, and all the other, services within plumbing that you offer, then having mention of that specific service in your headline. So, for example, affordable and reliable emergency plumbers in location rather than just plumbing services, then the headline that you've written is a lot more relevant, and they're going to be reinforced even more that they're in the right place when they land on your landing page. And then having an offer right below that then to encourage the user to take action now. So for example, 20% off all plumbing services in this case, this month only, is another great way to encourage them to take action now. But apart from making them realize that they're in the right place with your headline, having social proof and incorporating that into the hero section is the second most important part. So having some authority markers up here saying that we're 5-star rated on all platforms. And if you have a Google Maps listing, for example, then you can say that you're 5-star rated or 4.8-star rated or whatever on Google. But another step further from this is that if you have anything more than, let's say, beyond 20 reviews, then you can say, for example, 5-star rated based on 35 Google reviews. And that's just a lot more powerful than just saying that we're 5-star rated. So that's also worth taking note of. And apart from that, then in your hero section, just having some clear benefits of why they would choose you, and just keep these as bullet point form and without too much text. You can go into a bit more detail about the services, the further down the page you go, but you want to just keep these as short and to the point as possible with more relevant authority markers that's specific to the industry that you're in and the service that you offer, and then your call to actions and just making them as easy to fill out as possible, asking for only the information that you really need on the form without asking any complicated questions, and having a nice big call button as well if you're looking for phone calls. Now, on the topic of call to actions as well, you don't only want to have your call to actions at the very top of the page, but as you scroll down through the page as well, you want to have as many of these and incorporate them wherever possible. So you can have the option to get a quote here by clicking this button, which I'll actually show you on the published landing page in just a second, but more call buttons and different, options to get a quote by clicking a button as well as pressing to call directly. And even having 3 or 4 of these throughout the page can make a big difference to your conversion rate as possible. And having about 3 or 4 of these throughout the page can also make a significant impact on your conversion rate as well. And while I have it in mind as well, is rather than having more benefits and details right below the hero section, I'd actually put these 5-star reviews right below the hero section as well. Because as I mentioned, apart from making them feel like they're in the right place, which you do with your headline and having your ads separated into separate ad groups, The other question they have on their mind is, can I trust this company? And having your 5-star reviews as high up the page as possible with a call to action right below it is the best way of doing this. And then you can put, your benefits and details about your service below that. But having your 5-star reviews up here is definitely more important than more details because we already have a little bit of information about our benefits here anyways. And just to show you briefly on the published version of this landing page as well, if somebody decides to scroll down the page and they see the 5-star reviews and more details and so on, and they just are interested and want to get a quote, then they can press this button here and a light box will appear, which is the alternative to the form as well. So you can play around with these, and what I usually recommend doing is having a form visible that they see right away on the hero section when they land on the page, but then you can incorporate light boxes like this the further they scroll down the page. So if they click get a quote, then a box will appear like this where they can just put in their info and convert into a lead straight away. And while we're on, this published version of the landing page as well, the key really is just having a nice and simple design, and you just don't want to have too much going on the landing page. Only have like the essential information, just good photos, good reviews, core benefits, and really just with full focus on the next action that you want them to take and having the information that makes it most likely that that's going to happen, because we don't want to have anything or any links to different pages that's going to distract the user from what we want them to do next. We only want to focus on what really matters on our landing page. And just to show you what this looks like if you're looking at it on the mobile view as well, you have everything as simple as possible, and this would be your hero section in this case. So you'd have a phone button as well right above the headline where people can just call you directly. And you can see the top of the form that they have the option to fill out as well. But you have all of the core information of what really matters visible at the top of the landing page as soon as they land on it, including identifying the problem, giving reasons to buy, and clear call to action, so the next step that they can take. And as you can scroll through the landing page, then you just see, same thing, but just on mobile view. Oh, and actually, we would make sure to this offer here is in the wrong place. You just want to make sure that in all cases, your offer is right below the headline and is clearly visible in the hero section. And then you can see the rest of the elements. But as I mentioned, I'd actually have the 5-star reviews directly below the top part of the page and then have these benefits underneath. But just to show you the rest of what this looks like, then, towards the bottom of the page, you can go into a bit more detail about the service for those that want to learn more, and more call to actions, maybe an about us section, and another call to action then at the very bottom of the page. And just to reiterate again, out of everything on the landing page, the two main questions you want to answer is, does my landing page solve this person's problem, which you do with your headline, and making sure that you have social proof as well. So can I trust this company, and including your 5-star rated and authority markers at the very top, followed by reviews right underneath here, is the best way to do this, is what we found. And you can also A/B test, different things as well. But for example, swapping different sections around. Now you do need data to do this, and we have made a separate video on how to A/B test landing pages inside Google Ads. But the main thing you usually want to A/B test is different headlines, because your headline usually is, one of the most impactful factors on like, your overall conversion rate from your landing page. So you can A/B test different headlines and, maybe smaller aspects of your landing page, like the order in which certain things appear. But I would stick to just having a core solid template from the very beginning. And then once you're getting a significant amount of traffic on each landing page, you can then start setting up A/B tests as well. And I think we've mentioned almost everything necessary about the landing page itself. Obviously, just having relevant photos of your projects as well is important. And I would avoid using stock photos at all costs, because any photos that even look remotely fake, appear untrustworthy. So you do want to use real photos from the very beginning as well. And also that the landing page, for example, loads quickly when you try to load it as well. But if you're using any kind of landing page software, we use Landingly, but if you're using any, solid landing page software in general, then things like, mobile optimization and having a fast loading speed isn't going to be an issue for you. And one last thing as well that's also worth mentioning about, optimizing your landing pages, and this deserves its own video in itself, so we're not going to go into too much detail on this, but using a tool like Microsoft Clarity, you're able to, really see what the user behavior is like on your landing pages, and you're able to make data-driven decisions to, actually determine what changes I should make on my landing page based on, how people interact with the page, because you can really get a good indication if people, feel like they're in the right place when they land on your page. For example, if the active time on average across, all your landing pages was under, 20 seconds or something like that, then the chances are then, people wouldn't feel like they're in the right place when they land on your landing page. But this is a data for just, one landing page, and you're able to see a lot of interesting stats. And you can also see individual recordings as well, where you can see literally, every time somebody's clicked onto the landing page and, see them scroll through the landing page, how many seconds they've lasted on the page and so on. But rather than sitting there and, watching like hundreds of recordings, the most useful feature we found is using heat maps, where you can take all of the people that have viewed a specific landing page. So, for example, this landing page here has had over 115 views. So, we'll take this one, for example, and two really useful features that are worth mentioning are your click maps and your scroll maps. So, you can see what parts of the landing pages are getting clicks, and you can see from that, which parts are getting the highest engagement. And what we also like looking at the most really is our scroll maps. So we can see, where people are dropping off the page, and those are the places where, you usually want to make changes to your landing page. So out of like, the 100 plus people that have visited this landing page, obviously over 100% of people saw this part because this is what they see when they open the page. But you can see here that as you scroll through the page, this starts to drop off. And we had over 75% of people, get as far as some of the testimonials, which is really good. But a good way of, boosting this further then is that, if 25% of the people drop off the page here, then it might be worth maybe, for example, removing one of these testimonials and having a call button right here. So incorporating a call to action wherever users drop off the page is a good way to boost overall engagement. And then as you scroll through the page, then we have a call to action below the reviews, and this is, the 50% drop off rate. And as you keep scrolling down to the bottom of the page, it's pretty good that like, nearly half of the people are going through all these photos as well. And then we have about 25% get to the very bottom of the page then. So we're not going to go into a crazy amount of detail on clarity, but I just thought it would also be a tool worth mentioning where, you're able to see real user behavior on your landing pages, and you're able to, use that data to make changes to your landing pages based on where, people drop off, and you can make certain parts of your landing page more engaging wherever you see that people are dropping off your landing page. But you obviously need enough data to do this. Now, I hope this video gave you some more insight when it comes to optimizing your landing pages to improve your overall conversion rates and profitability of your campaigns. Now, if you do have any questions at all about landing pages or anything else related to Google Ads in general, feel free to leave a comment down below. And if you do like this kind of Google Ads related content as well, feel free to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, as we'll be posting all things related to Google Ads and landing pages daily. And hopefully we'll see you in the next video.